What's going on? All right. It's another episode of Spencer Uncensored. I believe this is episode 54. Might even be 55. I have to go look. I have been very busy sitting in front of my computer doing a bunch of things today. Maybe I'll catch up. I'll give you some of the catch up there as far as what I've been working on. But I would love to know where you guys are coming in from. Let me know. Let me make sure I get my other screen ready so I can see you coming in. If you see, as I have always told you guys, you are more than welcome to drop in comments, questions, thoughts, anything along the way. I love to hear from all of you. Even if you're on here at the recorded version, right? So if you come in after a Tuesday evening when we do this, you want to come in and, have a conversation. I see all of the comments. So drop them. Let me know. Also, if there's anyone else that, anyone you think needs to be here, let them know, right? Just share the group. Hi, Judy. South Carolina's in the house. Glad to see you. Anyway, so we're gonna press along here. I've got some cool things we're gonna be talking about today. Primarily centered around the book that is coming out later this year. I want to share a little bit about how this is kind of developing. And Spencer Uncensored, by the way, is really not designed to have any specific structure. It's really just me unleashed. I just kind of, throw some stuff out there. But today we have made more progress on the real estate reset course. So now we are working our way through the foundation portion. It's the average agent is probably going to take them about 12 weeks to go through it, to do it right, because they're going to have to do all the work along the way. As a matter of fact, today I dropped the statement, there's very few things you're going to hear that's new, right? It's not the new information you're looking for. It's going to be new action that's going to make the difference. And so the program itself, we're working through it. If any of you are interested in that, you could DM me, message me, whatever. I'll tell you more about how to get into that. As a matter of fact, you can actually get everything I have, all the courses. We've got like 3 or 4 of them now in there. Daily text messages, group coaching. I got Wednesday Night Live. There's a bunch of stuff that we're doing, and you get all of that all at one time. So just throwing it out there. Message me if it's something you're interested in. We'll get on a call and see if it's something that makes sense to you. But in the meantime, I have also been working on this book, and not only the book, but also the timeline involved with it. Those of you that are in this group are going to get an opportunity to help us along the way. And what I mean by that is we're going to have a book launch team, right? And I'll put it this way. I'm going to just give you a hint of how this is going to work. And I have it all on this whiteboard, right? People probably would have thought I was weird, crazy, different. And you guys that know me, that's probably true, right? I took my whiteboard out on the back porch, lit a cigar, had some drinks, and just started whiteboarding. I love doing that because for some reason with a whiteboard, you're just able to get more done. I don't know how, like, you can get your thoughts put out there. I also can do it with my iPad, but it's a little bit different on a whiteboard for some reason. So those of you that are whiteboard lovers, feel free to give me a thumbs up here on Facebook. Anyway, so somewhat of a timeline here to give you an idea. And I will meet with my book team again tomorrow as we work through the process of this. Right now, we're looking like probably summertime, maybe late spring, to be able to actually release the book. But before we release the book itself, we're going to have a whole bunch of pre-sale stuff, because I'm going to go across the country as many places as possible. So if you're hearing this, I'm asking you to help me get into whatever area you're in, right? So I'm talking right now, I know New Jersey's in the house. I know South Carolina's in the house. I got people we're talking to in California, multiple places there, Cincinnati, Ohio, like a bunch of these places. I want to go and do 3-hour Unshakable Drive masterclasses. And the masterclass will include a mastermind. So this is going to be fun stuff, because I think I know it's going to be different. And that's why we're talking about this tonight. I want to share a little bit of kind of a taste of where the book is going. But we're going to do these mini courses, or these little 3-hour free guest event situations. And basically I say it's a free guest event. You'll have to buy the book, right? So I don't know. We haven't put a price on it yet, but it's probably going to be like $15 or something. You get the book, you get the event for free, right? But it's more than that, because part of when you buy the book, you get tickets to my weekend event. And so we're going to be doing our first weekend event sometime in the spring here in Jacksonville, Florida. So put that on your radar. Maybe you want to come to that. We're going to be doing our first one here so that I can have an official conversation around the book launch and the team and so on. And then we'll have all these little mini events all over the country. And then from there, we'll have an actual book launch. And then from the book launch, we will then go into weekend events in different parts of the country. I'm targeting most of the Southeast for the weekend events. I haven't really looked at doing anything out west yet, but the primary focus is going to be, of course, Jacksonville, Atlanta, Charlotte, Orlando, maybe Miami. All of those areas are about 6 hours from me, which is perfect because I can just drive to those. But anyway, we're those that buy the book are going to get that event. That's how this is going to work. No, like, wait a minute, hold on. You're going to give away $1,000 program when I buy the book? Yes, that's what we're doing because I believe in this stuff. Let me tell you what kind of brought this up. And this is kind of a sales conversation. All of you that are listening to this, you're probably in sales. I need you to pay attention to how I'm doing this, not just what I'm doing. We should be spending way more time talking about the problem than the solution, because a lot of people don't know that there's a problem, or they don't really understand the depth of the problem. So if you're going to share a solution, you've got a solution, right? You want to help somebody navigate the purchase of a home. You want to help them navigate the sale of their home. You got to help sell the problem before they'll ever be able to buy the prescription. So let me share with you some of the problems we have and why Unshakable Drive, the book, is going to be a poignant piece of information for you. If you didn't know, the average American right now, according to what I just very brief homework. I haven't done a whole depth of this, and that's part of what we're doing right now. But currently, the average median income is $63,000. Now that's $5,000 a month or so, right? Average household income can go all the way up to about $87,000. I've seen some that say 76, 74. Bottom line is it's somewhere around 70-something thousand dollars that the average household is seeing. I don't know about you. I don't know how most people are actually surviving with less than $10,000 a month. $8,000 a month, maybe. When a pack of bacon is friggin' what, $7? I don't know. Y'all drop it in the comments. Let me know. How much is bacon these days? I don't even buy it half the time. Right? The average, right? What I need everybody to understand is if you're going to go from there's 3 levels of thinking. There's 3 levels of drive, if you will. There's 3 levels. You got survival. You've got mediocrity. And then you've got unshakable, right? These are the 3 levels. And what we're discovering through all of this work is that survival mentality, right, is more of a I wish discussion. It's very short-sighted. It's just what do I need to survive? And by the way, sometimes we all fall into that category. There's bad situations that happen and we just focus on what I just got to get through the day. I understand that. But I would imagine, I'd venture to say that the majority of the people that are going to be reading this book and taking advantage of the workshops and doing the work are not in survival mode. They're probably in that mediocre, that middle situation where they say, I don't just wish for it. I should be doing more. I should be getting this. I should be getting average things. Well, average right now is $70-something thousand. Now, you might be listening to this and going, I'm not even making $70-something thousand. Or I'm making more than that. I'm above average. Are you really above average? Because I know if you're listening to this and you're in like Miami, Florida, making 70 something $1,000, you are not living the Miami lifestyle. I can promise you that. Hell, even here in Jacksonville, 70 something thousand barely gets you where you want to go. I saw Judy was on here. She's in South Carolina. I know in South Carolina, Columbia to be specific, Columbia, South Carolina, 70 something thousand still doesn't get you anything massively wonderful. When the average sales price there, I think last time I talked to somebody, is like 280 for a house. Come on. If your idea of life is to be average, we have a problem. Guess what other averages I figured out? Listen to this. Hold on. Did you know that there's 43% of of Americans are overweight? We're not healthy, folks. Average Americans are unhealthy. Talk about getting uncensored for a second. Is that what you want? You want to be average? I doubt it. What you need is to find what's the resistance from going average to unshakable level of drive. How do we get out of the drift that we're currently in and get into drive? That's what this book is about. Here's another one. I could go on and on with different statistics. I only got 3 of them for tonight that I put in front of me, right? 3% of the population, 6.8 million adults are affected by general anxiety disorder. That's 3.1%. That's if I had 100 people in the room, 3 of them are going to have an anxiety disorder, like diagnosed. Pretty wild, isn't it? 10% of the drugs that get prescribed, 10% out of 43 states that I just looked at, 10% are prescription drugs specifically for depression and anxiety. Are we looking to be average? Is that what we want? We want more of that? I doubt it. That's why we're writing the book. Because we want to get past these issues. We want to be, we believe that you are more than that. And that you can get around, you can be more, you can do more, you can have more. So there's 4 pieces of criteria. There's 4 factors now that we've determined. And those of you that know drift to drive know that there's a process. But we have figured out that there are 4 factors. You can do them in order, yes. But the fact is that most of us are struggling with having an average of each of these factors. Here's the factors if you want to write them down real fast. Dream. You got to have a dream. You have to have an unshakable level of dream where it's focused on possibilities, not just the probabilities. See, life is stacked for you to be exactly where you are right now. If you cannot envision a better life, see it better than it is, you're not going to have an unshakable drive. Now, there's a resistance to going from an average dream to an unshakable dream. We call it being realistic, right? I got to be realistic. I got to be realistic. How do we get past that? Second factor is desire. You got to want it. You got to want it. You got to be able to articulate the desire. It shows up on the unshakable level of desire shows up with ambition, expectation, right? Average drive, those that drift in life, they want to downplay it. They defer it. They deny that they have no. That we're not going to. I can't do that. The resistance to go from average desire to unshakable desire revolves around worth. If we don't think we're worth it, then we will deny it, we'll downplay it, we'll defer. We can't, no, no. I don't want that. I'm okay right where I am. We're going to break that down. Guys, I'm trusting you guys see how this is kind of like coming together a little bit. Yeah. The third factor is disturbance. Unshakable drive requires an unshakable disturbance. Unfortunately, most of us stay average with it. And what the average level of disturbance, meaning we don't have enough to move us forward. We want to avoid the pain. We like to be numb. We just want to bliss out, baby. We avoid the pain. That's the resistance. We have this belief that ignorance is bliss. I heard, oh man, where did I hear that from? What was his name? Arthur C. Anthony, maybe was his name. It'll probably end up in the book too. But he was expressing how in the 60s, the general philosophy was if it feels good, do it. Guys, this stuck with me. This was because it was profound. Profound. This all stuck with me. In the 60s, if it feels good, do it. And of course, the older generation then was like, no, that's dangerous. You can't do that. You shouldn't do that, right? And so it was a big push for if it feels good, do it. Nowadays, that's not the mantra. Nowadays, the mantra is, y'all listening? Lean in. Nowadays, the mantra is, if it feels bad, get rid of it. Today, it's way more about avoidance of pain than it is about the gaining of pleasure. If you don't like something, get rid of it. If you don't like something, numb yourself. If you don't like something, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, discomfort, right? Do something, get rid of it. I can't have that in my life, right? People have no level of mental toughness, no level of emotional fitness. We just let everything overwhelm us, and then we get, oh, I can't handle it, so we have to get rid of it. Oh, my spouse is whatever, right? Let me get rid of that. Oh, my job is too difficult. Let me go find a new one. And there's appropriate times to do those types of things. But the fact is, as a society, we've gotten super comfortable with just cutting shit out of our lives and not actually doing something about it. If you're going to have an unshakable drive, you've got to have threshold moments where never again, it's an emotional connection and you have an unshakable disturbance. You're not going to stay here. I'm not going to do that. In addition to those three factors, dream, desire, disturbance, you also have to have an unshakable decision. But most of us have average level decisions, mediocre decisions. We dabble. We say we want it, and so we show up. We should, right? We should do these things, and so we at least show up. And then if success happens, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. I'm okay either way because I'm mediocre. I'm average. The resistance shows up in verbiage like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Folks, that's the fastest way to just stay mediocre. because you give all your power away. An unshakable decision shows up in the form of commitment. And by the way, another piece that's going to be in this thing is that commitment shows up every day. It's not a one and done decision. Every day you got to get up and agree to put on your armor. Every day you got to agree that I'm going to take this sword and go fight my battles. I'm committed to an unshakable level of life. I am not going to be here where I am mediocre with every other fucking person in this life. If you're with me, come along with me. But if you're not, don't hold me back. All four factors have to be there. I want to unpack that in the book. I want to help people go from average or mediocre, I should be, to I will. That's an unshakable level of drive. That's what this is about. And it's all really about habits. Drive is not just an emotion. Drive is a stack of habits and beliefs. And what I want to do is help package this so it's consumable. You guys can take it, do something with it, and go live an unshakable life. Go make more so you can live more. That's what this is about. That's the name of the group. All right. By the way, you can send your friends to unshakeablegroup.com. They'll be here every Tuesday, just like you. So, guys, I've spent enough time sharing with you a little bit of what's going on. We got so much more to do, so much more ground to cover. If you're interested, like I said, in bringing us in, or you want to find a way to bring me in for a 3-hour masterclass into your part of the country, I promise you we're going to find a way to make that happen. You just need to get in touch with me and let me know. And then we'll talk about tactics on how to pull that off. We're going to make some big things happen this year. It's not all going to happen all at one time, but it sure as hell ain't going to happen because I sit around and do nothing. So we're going to keep making things happen. I appreciate you guys giving us the time tonight. If you need something from me, feel free to reach out. Y'all have a good night.